Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the From the Banking podcast. You may notice I'm on my own today, and there's a few reasons for that, but we're not going to go into those reasons right now. But yes, you have me today giving you your podcast. Now, today's podcast is going to be all about the British Grand Prix in Silverstone, and as a marshal or as a spectator, what you can expect when you get there. Things about prices, where the marshal's camp is, what the marshal's camp is like, and all these different things we're going to go into just in a little bit of detail, just to give you a little bit of an insight into what it's like to marshal and what it's like to spectate at Silverstone for the Grand Prix. So this year, the Grand Prix at Silverstone is going to be held between the 3rd and the 5th of July, and it's held in, as always, Silverstone Race Circuit. Now, Silverstone Race Circuit is about between a 7 and 8 hour drive for myself, depending on how many times I stop. If you go into my TikTok page, that Marshall fella, you will see last year I cut my holiday short in Thailand by a day to come back. So I actually took I think it was about a day and a half and just over 10,000 miles for me to attend the British Grand Prix last year. But I made it, and I was there in plenty of time. So if you're marshalling it, and if you're a spectator, I would always recommend buying the tickets for as much as you can, i.e. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There isn't much track action on the Thursday, but on the Thursday, as a spectator, as well as a marshal, you will get access to the Hamilton stand on the main straight. There's no security on that stand on the Thursday. And you can go up and you can watch the safety car doing its reconnaissance laps, the medical car doing its reconnaissance lap. You can see into the Formula One garages sometimes, not all the time. You can sometimes see the drivers wandering about. You'll see the same principles, but you'll also see a lot of the F2 stuff and the F3 stuff. It's really good on the Thursday. Now, on the Friday, it gets a little bit more tighter with security. So on the Friday, if you have a grandstand ticket, brilliant, you show your ticket. Now, all tickets for Silverstone Race Circuit are done through the Silverstone Tickets app, which you will have to download onto your mobile device. And it's generally in the form of a QR code. Now, you cannot screenshot that QR code and just show them a picture of it. It is a live barcode. They call it a live barcode. So it changes as the time changes to make sure that it is an official ticket. And once you're in, depending what gate you come in, you will probably be greeted with a lot of merchandise stores and obviously food stores. So if you're coming in the main gate in Silverstone, most of that stuff would be to your, if you wanted to get there quickly, most of it is to your left. So you're going through the main gate where all the cars and everything's going in. Which is in between, it's kind of an entrance in between the main gate and the museum. You'd walk up, I don't know, 10 meters, 20 meters, 15 meters, something like that. And you would turn left, walk down that road there, and you'll have an abundance of catering. So if you're there early in the morning, might not be open, but it will be open for kind of brunch kind of time. And as you walk down there, you will also find the merchandise stores. Now, there's merchandise stores everywhere at Silverstone, literally everywhere, all the way around the track. But what I did notice was last year, there was outlet merchandise stores. Now, the outlet merchandise stores don't sell the current t-shirts, hoodies, that type of stuff, but they do sell last year's. And it's at phenomenal prices. I mean, I bought, what did I get? I did it in one of our podcasts earlier on in the year. And I think I got something like 4, 5, 6 t-shirts or something. And I didn't spend any more than 20, 30 quid. It was amazing. It was amazing. You'll also find kicking about at that time the army. Now, the army set up behind one of the stands and they bring some helicopters, they bring some tanks and little things like that. So that's something good for you to look out for. But like I said, on the Thursday, you don't have access into the main paddock as such, where the teams and all that are. But you can go into some of the grandstands and you can watch some of the stuff up there, because like the historics and the McLarens and the Mercedes from the hot laps, they'll be doing their reconnaissance laps. As I've said before, the safety car will be doing its reconnaissance laps. And what they do is they have a simulation, which is really good. The simulation is, it's like the safety car will go and the medical car has to follow behind, and it does a simulation somewhere on the track for a medical emergency, just to make sure that everything that they're doing is still within time limits and the regulation and stuff like that. Now, on the Thursday afternoon, it can get a little bit quiet, but if you are camping, that is the ideal time to go back to the campsite and just make sure everything is set up and everything is the way you want it. Because you can go back into the circuit on the Thursday night and you can watch everything on the main stage. So there's stuff on the main stage Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. Now, I would probably recommend trying to stay and to watch the stuff on the Sunday night and possibly leaving the circuit if you can on the Monday morning, because the traffic trying to get out of Silverstone circuit on the Sunday night is abysmal. It is a nightmare. You've got 500,000 people trying to leave down a dual carriageway road. In effect, it is quite a unique thing if you walk down to Silverstone Village on the Sunday and you look over at the main road. It is quite interesting because they shut down the motorway and you've got cars going the same way on both sides of the motorway. It's kind of free and all that. But yeah, so if you can, leave late on the Sunday or preferably the Monday morning. That would be my take on that. Campsites. Now, I haven't been into the spectator campsite, so I don't know. I've walked past a few. They're not the closest to the circuit, I will admit, and we're all going to be aware that the B&Bs and Airbnbs are going to be either skyrocketed in price or they're going to be full. So you're not going to get that. So it's probably your best bet is the camp if you can. It is a little bit of a walk to the circuit in the morning, and unfortunately, if you're queued up early in the morning to get the best seat in the house, you're going to lose because as marshals, we get little bands and lanyards and we skip the queue because we have to be, we have buses that take us around to post and we have to be on post at a certain time. So we get to skip the queue and then we get to do something else that you don't get to do. We get to walk through the fencing and stand on the track and wait for the bus to pick us up, take us to our post. So I'm going to go to the Marshalls campsite. So the Marshalls campsite, you will generally enter from a different area than the spectating campsite. It's kind of down the back end of Silverstone, and they bring you up into a big field. Now, last year, I thought, personally, was very organised, but you do have the Marshalls that have been going since Formula One probably started in 1950, and they don't seem to care that the little squares are for like a car or two cars or whatever. They just park where they want, and that's what they've done forever. And I'm not going to complain with that because they've been doing it for a long, long time. But the earlier you get there, or the later you get there on the Wednesday, or the earlier you get there on the Thursday, you are going to get a better pitch. When I say a better pitch, I'm not talking about if it's on a hill or whatever. I'm talking about the distance to get to the circuit. So the earlier you're there, the closer you're going to be to the circuit. The Marshalls campsite is very, very, very well amenitied. There are a plethora of toilets and showers, but there's also a plethora of marshals and officials. And so if you need to have your shower every single morning, you will need to be queued up outside the shower between 4 and half 4. In my experience, I've been up last year. I woke up to go to the toilet around about 20 past 4, and the toilets are next to the showering block, and there was already a queue. So if that's what you have to do, if you're marshalling and you have to have your shower every day, and this is your first time at Silverstone, I would say try and get down there as early as possible. So we turn up, we park up. Now, generally, sign on will be on the Thursday afternoon. Sometimes it could be in the morning if you're doing the high-speed testing for Thursday, but generally it will be Thursday afternoon. We will get it on our app, which we have as officials, and it will tell us what time, where and when, because we obviously have the post chiefs that need to sign on, incident marshals that need to sign on, intervention marshals, flag marshals, and there's no point in having 400 or 500 marshals in the one tent at the one time. So it's all done bit by bit. You'll have track marshals, you'll have radio marshals, you'll have post chiefs, then you'll have the flag marshal. And that's the way they do it. And that's when we get these tabards. And from then on, that's you kind of signed on. You don't have to sign on every single day after that. You sign on the Thursday, and that's you all the way through till the Sunday night. If you have an issue, you can send them a message. If you've got an issue at home and you have to rush away, just message them, let them know. Because the one thing you don't want to do is just disappear and not tell anyone, because that will hamper your chances of ever being able to marshal at Silverstone again for the Formula One. Because you do need to be consistent. Just let them know if you have to go. That's all I'm going to tell you. Just let them know if you So after that, the Thursday, there wasn't really much to it. After that, we went to the show at night time, went for a bite to eat. That was great. Friday morning, that's when for us, everything kicks off. So Friday morning, we have free practice 1 and free practice 2 that day. But please remember that when you go to Silverstone and you're looking to buy your tickets for Silverstone, you think, gee, look at that price. That's an awful lot for Formula One. You've got to remember it's not just Formula One that you're going to watch. You'll also have F1 Academy, hopefully. I don't know if they're there this year, but you'll have F1 Academy, Formula 3, Formula 2, and Formula 1. And there's a load of things that happen in between all that kind of stuff. So there's always generally something always happening on track. Even though you say, oh God, that's a lot for a ticket for a Formula One race. The Formula One race is just the cherry on top of the cake, if I'm honest with you. You've got all this other stuff that goes on there as well. So yeah, so the Fridays practice, all that kind of stuff. And this year we have something a little bit different. We have a sprint race on the Saturday. So we will have practice 3 and qualifying and a sprint race or a sprint qualifying. I think all the sprints all on the Saturday, isn't it? I haven't seen the timetable for it yet, but I think the sprint's on Saturday. So you're going to get more Formula One action on the track this year. I don't know what the prices are this year. And if the prices went up from what it has last year, there is extra Formula One action on this year. Sunday, well, we all know what happens on the Sunday. It's basically everything that's on the track on a Sunday is a race day. So your F1 Academy races, your Formula 2 races, your Formula 3 races, and of course, your Formula 1 race. Now, after the Formula 1 has finished for the day, that is when they let the public onto the track. But not until the marshals are off their post. You see people standing at the gates and they're like, why are you not letting us on? Why are you not letting us on? It's a health and safety thing. So we know you want to get on the track. We know that for some of you, it's a lifelong dream to walk on the tarmac that Max Verstappen or Fernando Alonso been driving on. We get it. We do honestly get it. But we've also got a few marshals which need to get back to the campsite. They have to get picked up by buses. So you can't be let onto the track until those buses have picked up the marshals. It's a health and safety thing for a start. It also depends where you are on the track. If you are at like the Lewis Hamilton stand, for example, or around about that area, you will get onto the track a lot quicker because everything from the start of the pit lane to the end of the pit lane is cut off to all traffic anyway. You're not going to get anything. So you'd be able to go in there to see the podium and all that kind of stuff. But for everybody else that's walking, that wants to come on the track from, say, I don't know, Maggots, Chapel, somewhere like that, they will open the track for you, but please be patient. And we have to get the marshals off in a safe manner. And there is vehicles on track. And that is why it's not safe, because there is vehicles on track. I'm trying to think what else I can tell you, to be perfectly honest. There's an awful lot goes on. I would say, and this is just a personal tip, I am not slagging off anybody when I say this, especially not Silverstone. But if you can help it, I would advise not watching on a Sunday from just before the Lando stand. There's the long straight there, is it Hanger Straight? It's right next to the heliport. And it really does get annoying with the helicopters coming in and out and out and in and out all day. It's quite interesting to watch sometimes. You can see some going into the chauffeur-driven cars into the paddock, wherever it is they're going. But that can get pretty boring and pretty annoying. But it is a great place to watch the cars because they're coming towards you at full chat before they break to go around by the Lando stand. But yeah, that's that. Is there anything else I can tell you? Is there any more advice? Yeah, you can walk around the whole track if you want to. It will probably take you the best part of half a day, especially if you stop off for something to eat, something to drink, and maybe a couple of merch stores. There is a lot of people on the Sunday who will leave chairs in certain parts of the circuit. They claim that space on a Saturday type thing, and they will leave it there. I wouldn't move it, if I'm all honest with you. One, you don't know who these people are. It'd be mental. We don't know. But it's just a respect thing. They've left their chair there. They've found the space that they want to. They've spent their money to get in. They found the space they want to be in, and they've left their chair there. So just leave it, guys, please. Don't go moving anybody's chair or towel or whatever it is they've left lying there for themselves. You will also probably, almost definitely notice that all around the track and there will be army personnel. They are not there. Well, they're there to watch the racing, but they are not there to show. They are there as extra security. They will, if you try and get over that fence, they will take you down. And that all stems from the protest that we had at Silverstone. So I believe that is why they are there. I might be completely wrong, but I believe that is why they're there. I think it was it the oil mob or something? But yeah, so that's my kind of tips for the Formula One weekend. Get there as late as you can on the Wednesday or as early as you can on the Thursday. Excuse me, if you're camping, you'll have a great time while you're there. I would take money because, as in a card, don't take cash because I don't think Silverstone, anywhere inside Silverstone, I don't think it now takes cash. I think it's card only everywhere. And if you pay £15 for a burger in one stall, you will pay £15 for a burger in another stall. And that is, I believe, Silverstone set the prices. Everyone gets a fair bite at the cherry. You've not got one that's got a 20-mile long queue because they're selling a burger at £8 and wee Jimmy around the corner in these wee trucks charging £18 for a burger and nobody's at his thing. I know how business works, but that's the way Silverstone like to work it. It's a set price for whatever it is you're eating or drinking, and it doesn't change no matter where you go. So I've kind of waffled on now for 20 minutes, and I don't know if there's anything much more I can tell you. Not stuff that I can tell you from a marshal's point of view that would be any different to what you would experience. We essentially get 24-hour access as marshals. You know what I mean? Not that we do that, but we could do. You get entry into the shows at night time. If you're marshalling, you will get a complimentary guest ticket and a kids ticket. If you have to request a kids ticket. Yeah, I really don't know what else to say, guys. You might be sitting there in your bed listening to this podcast. In your bed, you've just woken up. You could be listening to it in the car. I hope that some of you are going to Silverstone. I hope we could possibly meet up with some of the fans if that's something they would want to do. And I'm hoping that we could have a mass TikTok live with some other creators out there, especially the motorsport creators. That would be amazing if we could get a mass live going on. I don't know how the cell sites around there would cope because I did find last year that the signal was sketchy at the best of times, but that's mainly on the Sunday when you've got 300,000 people trying to use the one mast. But hey, you never know. We can maybe have a word with Silverstone and see if we could use the Wi-Fi or the Ethernet in the museum or something. That's another thing I was going to ask. If there is any of my fellow podcasters out there that are listening to this or watching this on YouTube, hello YouTube. If you know anyone at Silverstone that could possibly give us a room or an area on the Thursday night or the Friday night, and we could do a mass podcast if you wanted, if you're up for it. That is only if you're up for it. Yeah, I'm sitting here on my own today. I don't have my partners in crime. Amber is busy with family stuff, and I essentially gave Aaron the night off. He's a busy boy. He has things going on, and I just thought it would be good just to make it so he's not got the stress of having to come on here and talk to little old me for an hour. It means I can keep this podcast short. Because when me and him get talking, it really can go on for a long, long, long time. But anyway, guys, listen, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much. But have you hit the subscribe button? Because only 5% of the people that listen to our podcast have actually subscribed. If you wouldn't mind, give us a wee subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll let you know whenever we upload a new video to YouTube, which will be every Saturday at 10 a.m. in all honesty. But we're hoping to get a lot of shots on as well, so they'll pop up when we've done that. You can go onto our own TikTok pages as well as the From the Banking TikTok page. We have that Marshall fella, Amber and Orange, the Cadet Marshall, and From the Banking. The personal ones are the personal ones. The From the Banking one is the From the Banking one, but there is crossovers now and again. We do crossover from the different accounts, and we now have a WhatsApp thingy. What do they call it? We have a WhatsApp channel. Yes, I will post the links for that in the description down below. I'm going to start because I use that quite a bit for other stuff, so it's just another tool that I have for letting people know what's happening and what's going on. It has been weird just doing the podcast on my own, and I thank everyone if you're still here listening, I thank everyone for listening or for watching. It is very much appreciated. We are 13 episodes in. So that is 13 weeks of podcast from us. And we haven't missed a week, which I thought we would have by now, but we've managed not to. We've had some great guests on. We've had touring car winner Mikey Doble. We've had F1 Academy hopeful Kills Cole. We've had BTCC or ITV's voice of BTCC, David Addison. We have got some TikTok collaborations coming up in the near future. We hopefully have some more drivers coming up in the near future. It's difficult with timings and stuff that they've got going on. So we're trying to work things out. We will get there. We will get there. It will happen eventually. But at the moment, we're still waiting for those ones to come to fruition. We also have the website fromthebanking.co.uk where you can listen to the latest podcast. It is on the website on a little embedded link inside the website. And if you go to fromthebanking.co.uk, you can go on there and you can listen to the latest podcast on there, as well as a couple of YouTube videos, which are also tagged on the page. I think that's me for today. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. It has been an absolute pleasure. Oh, yes, you may have seen on the TikTok channels and possibly the Facebook page. There is a great podcast out there called Lassies on the Grid. Now, this is two young girls which from the Highlands in Scotland, big up Scott, started a podcast mainly about Formula One. They've got a lot of traction. They're getting a lot of views. They're getting a lot of subscribers and stuff like that. And I can see why. I've listened to it and I've watched it. It's a really, really, really good podcast. So although I'm asking you to watch this one, I also ask you to go and watch that one. But it's Lassies on the Grid. Go and give them a wee watch. You won't regret it. It's a good podcast. Also, another great podcast, who, again, I've been following the guy on Facebook for a long, long time. But they now have the podcast out, and that is A Life in Orange. And that looks like a really good setup. I haven't physically listened to you guys yet, but I will do this weekend. Apologies, I've not had a chance yet, but I will get it listened to this weekend. So thanks very much for listening, guys. I'm going to sign off, and we will see you next Sunday. Enjoy.